China's 2025 Victory Day parade projected strength and unity, unveiling cutting-edge weapons, including a full nuclear triad, hypersonic missiles, and cyber warfare systems, while reinforcing its strategic alliances with leaders like Putin and Kim Jong-un. By contrast, the U.S. Army's 250th anniversary parade in Washington, staged on Donald Trump's 79th birthday, appeared less about national defense and more about political theater. A costly spectacle of tanks, troops, and flyovers that celebrated past glories while exposing deep domestic divisions, sparking protests and raising questions about America's priorities in an era of mounting global competition.
The 3rd Infantry Regiment, the oldest active duty unit in the U.S. Army. Established back in 1784, the unit was dubbed the Old Guard by Major General Winfield Scott during a victory parade in Mexico City after the Mexican War. It is the U.S. Army's official ceremonial unit and presidential escort, conducting year-round tactical training to ensure the highest standards and utmost discipline of its soldiers. The unit routinely represents the U.S. Army and our nation in official ceremonies, major sporting events, and their own, the U.S. Army's own Twilight Tattoo. The Old Guard also maintains 24-hour vigil of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, while also conducting funeral services honoring our fallen heroes at Arlington National Cemetery. The regiment's 50 campaign streamer stand is a testament to its long, faithful service to our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the 3rd Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard. In 1775, the shot heard round the world.
Государственный флаг Российской Федерации
Parade.
И знамя победы. Смирно! Для встречи
Attention, under the banner of the victory. The state flag of the Russian Federation and the battle banner of the 150th Idritskaya Rifle Division are brought onto Red Square. This sacred scarlet banner, raised above defeated Berlin in the spring of 1945, has forever become the ultimate symbol of our people's victory over fascism.
Lexington and Concord sparked a revolution, uniting 13 colonies and forging a continental army from farmers and frontiersmen. Against the odds, they turned the tide at Trenton and Saratoga, survived Valley Forge, and at Yorktown forced a British surrender, securing independence and giving birth to the United States of America. Before radios and field phones, sound was the signal. In the Continental Army, fifes and drums carried commands across the chaos of battle, telling soldiers when to advance, when to retreat, eat, even when to rest. That legacy actually lives on today with the U.S. Army Fife and Drum Corps, part of the 3rd Infantry Regiment known as the Old Guard. Founded back in 1960, they're the only unit of their kind in the armed forces. Performing in uniforms patterned after those worn by General Washington's musicians. Playing period instruments with patriotic precision, they bring history to life, sharing the sound and spirit of the Revolution through more than 500 performances each year, both at home and around the world too. The Old Guard, Fife and Drum Corps, everybody. And now, from high above, ladies and gentlemen, celebrating 250 years, your United States Army parachute team, the Golden Knights. Descending at over 120 miles an hour, the Golden Knights are using flexible wing gliders to maintain their formation. They open their main canopy simultaneously and negotiate the softest possible landing. I'll tell you, they can't hear you, but they sure can see you. You can give them a great big wave, ladies and gentlemen. The Golden Knights, the finest parachuting team in the world.
Today, the state flag of the Russian Federation and the victory banner are held proudly by honor guards of the 154th Separate Preobrazhensky Commandant Regiment, Sergeant Ivan Borchikov and Senior Sergeant Dmitry Monasterov. Leading the flag-bearing units are Captain Kirill Gorshinov and Lieutenant Anton Mikhailov.
Fort Sumter in 1861, a nation divided. Over 4 brutal years, nearly 2 million soldiers fought to preserve the Union. Among them, 5 future presidents and the first recipients of a brand new military decoration, the Medal of Honor. With independence won, our nation's westward expansion began. The Army moved in step, guarding settlers as Native Scouts lit the way. Immigrants joined the cause, and the Buffalo Soldiers etched a legacy of grit and honor across the American frontier.
It is.
As they march by, a soldier's uniform signals their duty, their role, and their readiness. And by the late 1850s, official regulations outlined distinct looks, shaping the Army's identity and function across the force. Soldiers were issued 2 coats. One, a short sack coat for work and battle, with brass buttons and colored trim that marked their rank. Well, by war's end, that rugged sack coat became the soldier's uniform of choice. As the war escalated, volunteer enlistment surged. Congress authorized support for a force of up to 500,000 new troops, answering the call to preserve the Union. As they march by, representing the Civil War era of our nation's history, is the 4th Infantry Division based out of Fort Carson, Colorado.
In short, China's parade was a calculated and confident showcase of futuristic military power, demonstrating technological innovation, strategic vision, and international alliances that signal its growing role as a global leader. By contrast, the U.S. event appeared more like a pageant of nostalgia, rooted in tradition but lacking substance, relying on outdated symbols of past wars while burdened by political overtones and domestic controversy, exposing a military more focused on spectacle than genuine modernization.